Welcome down to a gorgeously sunny Herons Reach, and in today's Friday Fix, I'm going to show you how to stop three-putting, get those scores down, and even have a few more one-puts. So three-putting can be an absolute killer for your score, but I think it's important to understand that you probably fall into one of three potential categories if you're someone who three-puts a lot. You either leave your long putts too far from the hole, leaving you too much work for your second putt. You could be the second category of golfer who actually just misses lots and lots of little ones, or you could be both. You could be somebody who leaves yourself a little bit too much work, but then really struggles to finish it off. Now, I think there's three key skills that you need to master in order to be a good putter. Green reading, ability to set the ball off on line, and speed control. Now, for today's video, I'm going to leave green reading out of it because I think if you're somebody who struggles with long putts, it's speed control that you need to be better at. And if you're somebody who struggles with short putts, it's that ability to set the ball off on line. So I'm going to run through how you can get some better control on those long putts, and I'm also going to show you a really simple little drill that's going to help you set the ball off on line. And if you can put it all together, like I said, less three putts, more two putts, hopefully lots and lots of one putts. So as a general rule, the first category that I mentioned where people tend to three-putt is from those mid to long range putts. They just leave themselves too much work. So they get set up over the golf ball. And most golfers, I think, generally set up pretty well, but then they'll leave themselves well short, which is a lot of work to do. Or they'll stand over the next one and think, right, need to make sure this reaches the hole. And it's that far past, at best it's a two putt. So I think the biggest challenge for most golfers on those mid to long putts is they're just not actually aware where the hole is. And they're so bothered about making a perfect stroke, they forget that it's the length of the swing that controls how far they're going to hit the ball. So if you are somebody who struggles with those mid to long putts, try this. I do this with everybody and it's amazing how much better they are. I literally get them to get a ball, look at the hole and just roll it down. And predominantly with most golfers, there we go. The speed control's good and it gets close. And the reason being, when you're looking at the target, your subconscious part of your mind makes it easy to work out how big a swing to make and gauge that distance. And that's just because you've done that a lot as a young child. So I think a great little drill for a lot of golfers, and when you do this, it'll feel a little uncomfortable to begin with, is to set yourself up to hit your putt and actually look at the hole and then keep looking at the hole as you hit the putt. Hello, that might work for me. Initially, you might be a little bit worried about how you're going to strike the putt, but if you can stand over those putts, look at the hole, put a good stroke on it, even if it doesn't go in, you'll notice instantly how much closer the ball is finishing to the hole. Now, I know what you're thinking, I can't go out and putt looking at the hole. Now, Jordan Spieth does it, to be fair, and he's a good putter, but a lot of the guys on tour will do this as a practice drill. So now I'm going to show you what the best players in the world do on those long putts, which will definitely help you, if not hole it, get it closer. You actually might fancy looking at the hole when you putt, but what you'll see with most players, and this is something I do, is they'll actually look at the hole when they do their practice swing. And I'll have two practice strokes, getting a feel for what I'm about to do. Then I can set up over the golf ball, one more look at the hole, back to the ball, and then put the stroke on it. And as long as I repeat what I've just practiced, we can see another one in the hole. But the beauty was, if that had missed, it was only ever going to be incredibly close with no chance of missing that putt. So experiment. It might be two strokes, it might be one, it might be three. But once you find something you're comfortable with for these mid to long range putts, stick to that routine every single time. Be much more target orientated And then, if your speed control's better, even if you don't set the ball off perfectly on line, like we can see there from those two, one in the hole and one absolutely guaranteed to putt. Right, so let's say you don't think you're that bad at those long ones, but you find when you get to that 2, 3, 4 foot, you miss the hole too much and you're kind of quite nervy over the putts. The odd one gets in, but felt like there's a lot of moving parts to get that one into the hole. You stand over the next one, it doesn't even touch the hole. And you just pray for those games where you've got some nice, generous playing partners who say, pick it up, let's get on to the next hole. So whereas on the long putts, it's really about making sure your speed control is good, I think the most important skill on these short ones is that ability to set the ball off on target. So I think a great little thing to do for that, and you can put to a hole or you can literally just put down part of the green, is to get a couple of tees. There's some training aids that'll do this, and maybe 6 inches in front of the ball, put another ball down, and then put a couple of tee pegs into the ground, either side of the ball, creating a gate. And then what you've got to try and do, be fairly generous to begin with, is as you set up, you've got to try and roll the ball through that gate, irrelevant of whether it goes in the hole to begin with. And what you'll tend to see with a lot of golfers is as they set up, they'll struggle to get it through that gate. So that shows that as good as they might be aiming the putter, they're very poor at returning that putter face square. So I would always do a few and see if a pattern occurs. So there I've hit one left, one right. If I were to struggle with this drill, I know that if anything, I tend to just catch that left one a little bit early because my bad putt is a pull. So what you've got to then work out is with your putter, what's actually happening there is on the pull, the toe is overtaking too quickly, and on the push, the heel's leading too much. So I think a great way is working on putter face awareness. So if I were to stand there and make my normal stroke, straight through the middle, but definitely for me, when I putt badly, I can feel the toe of the putter really overtakes a lot. Now, my putter is a little bit toe hang, so it wants to close naturally. I just don't need my habit to keep that going. So for me, it's quite a nice feeling just to feel that the heel is slightly leading. It's not, but again, if you're somebody that hits that left one, initially try and feel that the heel leads a little bit more in, and straight away you should feel that they get through that gate. Obviously that went in the hole. If you're somebody who hits that right hand one, that heel might be leading too much. So then you want to feel that the toe just overtakes slightly. Again, style of putter can help, but for today, get that little gate set up, roll it through the gate, and then we're seeing every time I can set the ball off on line with this putt, the ball goes in. Now, anyone eagle-eyed will have spotted, maybe my gate at the moment has got a little bit more wiggle room through it than I would ideally like it to have. So I can move that one of the tees a little bit closer, make that a little bit tighter. So now I've got to be even more precise with my putter face control. And again, as long as I can roll it through there, I'm not saying the speed's not important, because if I leave it short, it's still a miss, or if I hit it too hard. But if initially you get used to just rolling through that gate, now that one got through and missed, but my putter face was good, so I've just aimed in the wrong place there. So again, set yourself up, get used to hitting it through that gate. And the more you're through there, the better that'll be. Then the key, like with any practice drill, is take the gate away, and can you recreate that feeling you've had? Go through the same routine that you would do on those longer putts. So looking at the hole, then in, then put. And if you can get those long ones close or in, if you're not coming, you don't have any of these, but if you get those long ones closer and get good at these short ones, we say goodbye to 3 putts forever. Right guys, so we can see there, if you can be more target orientated on those long putts, it is amazing how you can tap into that little bit more instinctiveness for feel, because everybody as a kid spends a lot of time rolling the ball, throwing the ball, and I do genuinely think when I work with golfers that they're very good when they react to a target at judging that distance better. And as we showed, if you can get that distance better, it means that second putt, if the first one doesn't go in, it finishes a lot closer and makes it much easier to get that second one in. Now, if you were somebody who generally wasn't too bad with the long ones, but really was missing short ones left, right, you know, might have even claimed that you had the yips, having that little gate drill, learning initially, do I tend to miss one side? Is it a push? Is it a pull? And then giving you that correct feeling with the stroke. If you can hit it out the middle of the putter and set it off on line on those short ones, even if your speed control's not great, you're gonna hole a lot more putts than you did. And everybody says drive for show, putt for dough. I don't necessarily agree with that, but I think if you can become a better putter, it's much more enjoyable for your game, gets your scores down, and if you're playing your pals, you know, it's never nice playing against someone who holes out from everywhere. So guys, hope you've enjoyed today's video. If you have, like it and share it, comment below and I'll get back to as many people as I can. If you've enjoyed today's video and you don't currently subscribe, I'd love you to take a minute, just hit the button below, ring the notification bell, and then you'll find out whenever I drop a new video. Follow me on all my social media platforms, all under Ali Taylor Golf. Hopefully catch up with you soon. Stay in contact.